Hello everybody. How are y'all doing? So, if anybody who has watched my videos before has tried to stream a PS2 while playing a PS1 game, they'll have noticed that when you go to do that, the game won't really line up properly or it won't display anything at all. Allow me to demonstrate. Matter of fact, I'll do it without free McBoot. But yeah, so I was just gonna show you guys, how I stream PS1 games on a PS2. Alright, so here we are. So this is what it would do if you were to do it, without editing anything. And this is Mega Man Legends 2, the game that I've been streaming. Notice how it doesn't show anything though? You can hear everything, but it won't display anything. I think, I'm pretty confident about this, but not 100% sure because I haven't looked it up. But pretty confident that it's because, for the most part, these PS1 games display in 240 instead of 480. 480i or 480p, whatever. And most graphics or most capture cards probably don't support that low of a resolution.
I was thinking we should get started soon.
But then this displays because it's just an image, But see here how there's scrolling and all sorts of stuff. You can't see anything. Then I go here and you can. And that's because the resolution is just not supported. On the menu screen, I believe it is 480 IRP or higher or lower. 480 IRP, one of the two. That's what I meant to say. So what I like to do is I load into free McBoot, and you can buy a memory card that has already been modified to do that, or you can get free DVD boot, burn that to a DVD, and then you can install free McBoot on a memory card of your own. But anyways, after you get free McBoot, or a way to load any type of homebrew on your PS2, you want to get this program called GSM. It's Graphics Synthesizer Mode Selector. Now, to play PS1 games with my capture card, and I'm using a Roxio Gamecap without HDMI support, to get it to work for me, I press X once, and then, select so that I exit to PS2 browser. And if I just do that, it won't the game won't be centered properly. Let me show you actually, so you guys can see what I mean. Now, every time I do this, after it exits out of that, it will have corrupted display like this. But anyway, all I gotta do is press down, click on the disc, and it'll load it. But the PlayStation logo is off-centered quite a bit. A lot harder to tell right there. See how all the text boxes aren't really centered as well as they normally are? And then where it says memory card slot 1, it's cut off a bit. So to fix that, we reboot into free McBoot, again like normal. Then we go down to GSM, again, like I showed you before. Press X to put this thing in 480p, and then select to exit to the PS2 browser. And I press down once on the D-pad to offset the Y-axis -4, and then I hold left on the D-pad to offset the X-axis to 108 or -108. And for my setup, this seems to work pretty much with all of my TVs. I don't recall the guide I used to figure all this out. I know it was somewhere on PSX Place. Pretty sure that's where I found it. But they had different coordinates, different X, Y, axis offsets. They might be different for you. For me, -108 and -4, respective to the X, Y axes. Those seem to work really good for me. They make it perfect. Because now, when I exit and launch the game, you'll see that everything is, centered pretty well. I'm not really 100% sure if it's perfect, but it's centered enough to where I'm satisfied. But yeah, that's how I set up streaming on my PlayStation 2 for PS1 games. You can see all these text boxes are relatively perfectly centered. Alright. Well, I don't want this little bit here to be part of my normal playthrough stream because this technically wasn't a playthrough. This was more of a tutorial thing on how I stream with my PlayStation 2 and Roxio Gamecap card. Some things about the Roxio Gamecap card. I read in a lot of forums and stuff, people were saying how they can't get the Roxio Gamecap card to work without the Roxio software. Personally, I don't use the Roxio software at all. I only use OBS. However, I did have to have the drivers installed because obviously the computer's not going to know what it is without the drivers. But I did not need the Roxio proprietary software at all. The only things that I'm running to capture this is OBS. So maybe it's different for the one that supports HDMI. I have the one that does not support HDMI. It only supports YPBPR or component. Yeah. So I guess that's it for this little bit. I hope this helps anybody who's trying to get into streaming or, who's having trouble setting up their PlayStation 2 with a Roxio Gamecap card, or at least having trouble setting it up through YPBPR connection. So yeah, that guide also works with TVs, not just game capture cards. It also works just on a regular TV if you're trying to play with component cables. I'm gonna find the guide for setting this up with GSM, and I'll put a link for that in the description, as well as a link for a free DVD boot, if just in case anybody needs either of those. And that'll be on my YouTube, not my Twitch. Well, actually, I'll put it in on my Twitch as well. But it's not going to be up on Twitch for very long because I don't have a lot of subscribers or many viewers that often at all, so at least not yet. But yeah. I think that's everything. But yeah, I'm going to get a link for those, put them in the description after this ends, and then that'll be that. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps anybody who's been having trouble with that stuff. See you around. Hope you enjoy my content.